That's right, boys and girls. Non-League to Legend is going to be back in just 3 days' time here on the channel. It is going to be taking over the 4 o'clock slot that we're currently using for this series. Panic not, this series isn't going to be ending. It's just going to be shuffling back a little bit later in the day. I'm not entirely sure what time yet. I'm thinking probably 7, 8 p.m. I'll try and keep the Manchester United series going as close to daily as possible, but obviously from Tuesday everything changes. Non-League to Legend takes full priority, and goodness me, do I hope you come and join me for that, because it's going to be awesome. Hello and welcome to part 17 of my FM20 beta save of Manchester United. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we are away against Liverpool in the Premier League, and we've got the Carabao Cup quarter-final, I think it is, against Arsenal. I know on yesterday's video I said we'd come back for these games. I didn't notice we were playing Liverpool, and playing Liverpool is quite a big deal. As you can see, playing Watford is also quite a big deal, because we went there and lost, and yeah, that makes this Liverpool game all the more important, because we go into it 3 points clear of them at the top of the league, but they have a better goal difference. So a win for Liverpool, they go to the top of the league for the first time all season. We have been dominating this league from the word go, and I'm not ready to stop dominating yet, but Liverpool might have other ideas. In Harry Kane news as well, still only 1 goal behind the top scorers in the Premier League. Kev, you're not getting the best out of Harry Kane. Don't know what more you want from the man. So this is the team we're putting out there for the Liverpool game. We are using the 5 at the back system that we used to such success yesterday, because ultimately we're away from home against Liverpool. A draw for us keeps us top of the league. So a draw is fine. If we steal a win the way we stole a win against Real Madrid, that's even more fine. This could be the day it all goes wrong and we never use the back 3 again. But for these big away games, it certainly seems to be working so far. So we're going with De Gea in goal, a back 4 of Maguire, Tuanzebe and Diaz, with Shaw and Wan-Bissaka as our wing-backs. Pogba, Kasai. I promised I'd look that up and I didn't. And Eriksen in midfield, and then Kane and Rashford up front, going with Rashford ahead of Edouard. I mean, there's very little between the two of them. Rashford is in slightly better form recently, but Edouard could just as easily be up there starting alongside Harry Kane as well, because he's also in some pretty splendid form, and Haaland is now finally recovering from the injury that's kept him out the last couple of episodes. So we've got some good options as strikers if things aren't going our way today. So let's get into the game. I'm pressing that button a lot of times. This is what happens when you pick the team the day before, then come back to it and start recording your video. So that's the Liverpool side. Not massively changed from the Liverpool side that starts the save. I know we talked a lot about Arsenal being a completely different team, and we're obviously a completely different team. Shows how good Liverpool are to begin with. They've not actually done a huge amount other than selling Salah, I guess, which was the big thing that they've done, and not really replaced him. Just got Oxlade-Chamberlain and Firmino knocking about on the wings these days. But it is Liverpool to get the first highlight of the game. Gomez charging down the right-hand side of the pitch, and we had half our team chasing him. Paul Pogba is the one who ultimately dispossesses him, and there's Pogba getting the ball back for the ball over the top, looking for Rashford on the counter-attack. Rashford is in, and Rashford was so close to opening the scoring. It's one of the reasons I went for Rashford over Edouard, because neither Kane or Edouard are that quick. Rashford is giving us that blinding pace that is so useful on these counter-attacks. Shaw plays it into Pogba. Pogba back to Shaw again. Shaw trying to find a crossing situation. It ends up with Kane, and then ultimately Wan-Bissaka in towards Rashford again. And we're applying some pressure here. I like it. Shaw once again in a crossing position. But once again, it goes all the way to Wan-Bissaka. Just hit him a little bit softer, lads. You don't have to. We're not trying to clear the penalty area. This isn't kicking practice. Aim for Harry Kane's head, for goodness sake. Now Liverpool with another highlight, and they are in and very, very close to opening the scoring at the other end. De Gea. I thought De Gea had made the save, but apparently not. Apparently it was just a miss. Either way, not that bothered. As long as Liverpool don't score, I'm happy. We're 33 minutes in. It's been a reasonably tight and well-balanced game so far. Joe Gomez charging through again. And he's been their biggest threat so far, which I don't know which one of our two teams that says more about. We don't really seem to be able to cope with him, but they don't seem to have anything other than him going forward at the moment. The ball is very scrappy in there. I think Harry Kane has tucked it away. In fact, it's gone down as a Roberto Firmino own goal. It was an absolute mess in the Liverpool 6-yard box. Let's have a look at this on the replay. It's an Eriksen free kick, and it's initially headed back over by Tuanzebe. Pogba, Kane, Rashford are all in there. It's Kane who ran away celebrating initially. It's gone down as an own goal. Once again, don't care. We're 1-0 up away from home against Liverpool with our defensive system on, and I'm quite happy just to blow the final whistle now. Don't get complacent out there, lads. This could be huge if we manage to pull off a victory here, which wasn't really part of the game plan. The game plan is very much just try to avoid losing. But a victory here extends that gap at the top of the league out to 6 points, and that is a big lead at the top of the league. Shaw plays it into Rashford. Pogba, with a shooting opportunity, hits the frame and the goal. It was kind of in the angle of the post and the crossbar, bounced out awkwardly, but luckily for Liverpool, not into the path of an onrushing Harry Kane. Eriksen now with the corner, and it ends up with Pogba again. Pogba's got his shooting boots on today. He is letting rip at every opportunity. Eriksen now to take another corner after that save from Alisson. Comes in looking for Ruben Diaz. Ends up with Pogba again, who has another shot. But now Liverpool have got the chance for a counter-attack of their own. Marcus Rashford in with a tackle though. But it's not quite fully dispossessing them. Luke Shaw finishing the job. And Paul Pogba's there again. Pogba has been everywhere today. I am a little bit worried that he sat there on a yellow card. Bearing in mind he's clearly playing very vigorously. So we do need to keep an eye on Paul Pogba, but he is having a cracking game so far. And it's De Gea taking the goal kick, aiming towards Wan-Bissaka. Doesn't make it to him, but we keep hold of the ball regardless. Back with De Gea again, who this time spreads the ball out towards Shaw on the left-hand side, all the way back to Harry Maguire. Maguire, ball over the top for Shaw to chase. Shaw trying to get beyond his man, but can't. Joe Gomez is there again, the rascal. And now Liverpool looking to break back on us, but Tuanzebe deals with it. Wan-Bissaka now breaking back on Liverpool. This is end-to-end like a basketball game. Wan-Bissaka into Harry Kane. Kane with the cross. Pogba's there, and it's just over the bar or off the top of the bar. It was achingly close, but not quite close enough. Paul, yes, we'll make that change. We're telling Pogba to ease off on tackles. He's having the game of his life, but we don't want him to do anything dumb. He's also getting tired. I'm actually thinking Pogba, as well as he's playing, it's probably for the best that we take him off now. That being said, we don't have Goretzka on the bench, which is the player I want to bring on for him. So maybe we are not taking Pogba off. Who picked this bench? I can't really change anything there, can I? I guess what I could do is drop Rashford back to the left and bring on, say, Jadon Sancho or Gnabry. If we just change the shape slightly and do this, just drop him back a little bit. He can carry on doing that role. We want him as an inside forward, and then we'll take Pogba off that way. And that's recommending Gnabry. I'm thinking Sancho, just because we spent 120 million quid on him and Liverpool wanted him. So we'll probably bring them both on, to be fair. Let's bring them both on. We'll play them that way round, I think. So now we've got Sancho and Gnabry either side of Harry Kane up front on his own, but still with the counter-attacking system going on. So if anything, that's just dropped those wider players back a little bit. Although it has given up a little bit of possession in midfield, presumably, but we don't need possession. We need players running around a lot and trying not to concede goals. Right, final substitution. We're going to take off Harry Kane, bring on Edouard. I'm always tempted to make him a target man, but I can't quite bring myself to do it. We'll make him a complete forward up front on his own. Elite striker for elite striker. What a substitution to be able to make at this stage of the game. Luke Shaw is wondering why he hasn't been taken off because he's tiring, but he's also having a very, very good game. De Gea now with the goal kick, and that looked like it bounced off an invisible wall there to stay on the pitch. That was a weird piece of animation. Liverpool desperately trying to get back into this game. Firmino trying to undo the damage he did early on. Gomez again getting involved in the attack. It ends up, it's bobbing around so fast that I can't keep up with the commentary. Firmino hits the inside of the post, I think, but Diaz manages to clear, looking for Edouard, who's not really paying attention, and it ends up back with Gomez again. And now Eriksen lumps it forward for Edouard to chase. This is where we want Sancho and Gnabry doing his running for him. We don't really need him chasing after balls like that, but they've come back defending Origi with a shot from miles out, and he's never going to beat David De Gea, sorry, I know that upsets people. Never going to beat him from that kind of range. 90 minutes now on the clock, but there's another 4 minutes still to play. Tuanzebe to Maguire. Tuanzebe again. Forward to Gnabry. It's the first we've seen of him since he's been on, but it's a lovely pass for Edouard, who's in behind here. Can he score? He can! It's a 9th goal of the season for Edouard, and with 90 minutes on the clock, it's now Liverpool 0, Manchester United 2, and we're getting that 6-point lead at the back of the Premier League back again, and it's through a lovely little counter-attack. We won the ball back in our back three. We gave it to one of our fancy midfielders we've just brought on, and they played it forward to our superstar striker, who is almost going goal for goal with Harry Kane now, bearing in mind he's not starting as often. We've got two very, very, very good strikers, and that's why Haaland doesn't get to play very much, and why Mason Greenwood's out on loan in the Championship. Edouard in behind again. Can he add a second? I thought he had for a second there. Alisson making the save, but there's 45 seconds left and we've got a corner, so I'm absolutely delighted with that. And Jadon Sancho scored. I don't think he knew very much about it. Alisson came flapping for the corner, and I think he just kind of missed it, and it's hit Sancho. This is absolutely made up for the Charity Shield now. Corner comes in. There's Alisson just missing it completely, and Sancho didn't even have to jump. It's just landed on him and ended up in the back of the net. And it's going to end Liverpool 0, Manchester United 3. And that is far more than I ever could have hoped for this game. I tell you what, this 5 at the back counter-attacking system, it might be dull as ditch water to watch, but goodness me, is it effective against these teams who don't really know what to do about it. That was awesome, but now we're going to go back to playing our normal game against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup with some rotation of players as well, because obviously we don't care about the Carabao Cup. In other news, I have signed a new 5-year contract to Manchester United as well. I'm unlikely to be here for 5 more years, but they love me. They really love me. As you can see, popular manager Kevin Chapman. So 5 more years. Let's go play Arsenal. Before we get into the Arsenal game, though, we have a Champions League knockout round draw. We are seeded in the draw, so we're going to avoid Arsenal, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Man City, Lyon, and the good old Zebras. So the teams we could play against. Oh, my word. Is it worth being seeded? Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Napoli, Real Madrid, Inter, Monaco. Yikes. Right, it's a Champions League's hard, isn't it? So Inter play Paris Saint-Germain, Atletico play Manchester City, Benfica play Lyon, Napoli, Bayern. Right, who have we got left? Monaco, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Shakhtar. I mean, Shakhtar, please. Shakhtar would be nice. Barcelona, Real Madrid would be terrifying. Monaco, I think, will probably be okay. But Barcelona or Real Madrid, we should avoid Real Madrid, surely, because we had them in our group. I don't think we can play them again yet, can we? I'm not sure how it works. Barcelona, this is going to be us, isn't it? Liverpool have got Barcelona. So Shakhtar, this is the one we want. We know the trick from previous series. We just say the name of our team 3 times and then they come out. So Manchester United, Manchester United, Manchester United. It's just, it works. It works. Go find the cut. There was no cut. It just works. Because it's wonderful. Real Madrid against Juventus as well. There are some big games in this tournament. Wowzers. And we've got probably the easiest draw. I don't know how Shakhtar got on in their group. Can we see that? Group E. So they were in Man City's group. Pushed them all the way, to be fair. Yikes. Okay. They might not be rubbish. We should be able to get past them, and it's certainly easier than what we could have had, but I don't think they're going to be a pushover. Here we go then. As promised, some rotation has gone on for the Arsenal game. We've gone back to the 4-2-3-1 tiki-taka system that served us so well over the course of the save so far. We're going with Henderson in goal, a back four of Gaia, Maguire, Diaz and Dalot, Goretzka and Pereira in midfield, Sancho, Rodriguez and Gnabry behind Haaland up front. We've got some of the big guns on the bench, Pogba, Kane, Edouard, all there to come on if needed. But if this Haaland guy is as good as you all tell me he is, here's his opportunity to go out there and win us a game against what looks to me to be pretty close to full-strength Arsenal team. So they're clearly taking this tournament a little more seriously than we are. We'll do the we owe them after last time team talk. Always my favourite team talk. Thank you for beating us so comfortably in the league, Arsenal. It gives us a reason to want to avenge that. Imagine after our first team getting thumped by them in the league, we can stick out a backup side and knock them out of the Carabao Cup. That would be lovely. What is Sancho doing there? That was, I don't even know. I don't know what he's trying to achieve there. Certainly don't think you could call it a cross, but at least it's nice to see us controlling possession again. This is the Manchester United we all know and love. None of this counter-attacking, being efficient, doing tactics football. I'm glad to be back doing what I like. Right, Lacazette is in for Arsenal, and Henderson's no De Gea, is he? I have started making some moves towards January transfers as well. On the topic of Henderson, there is going to be another goalkeeper coming in January. I'm not going to show you the transfers today because they're not completely finalised, and got to give you something to come back for tomorrow. But there is money being spent in January, and probably need to be moving some players out because our squad is getting a little big and bloated. And I know some of you were also very upset about the Anthony Martial situation, but there's going to be more situations like that probably, with more players that real-life Manchester United fans might consider heroes. What I would say to those real-life Manchester United fans are, you're a mid-table team in real life. We're trying to win the Champions League. Your best players now probably aren't good enough to do that. Oh, they're going to be furious. Right, let's win this. Let's win this football match. Oh my word. I'm very sorry, Manchester United fans, about the fact you're not very good at football. No, stop it, Kev. Stop it. Oh, I'm just having some fun with you. Like you have fun with me when you tell me I should be playing Martial and McTominay and whoever else I should be playing week in, week out. They ain't good enough. James is another one. And it might be, I'm no football expert, it might be that they're awesome in real life and they're the standout players of a team that's on the verge of being great again. In which case, I'm clearly an idiot and I apologise profusely. But even if that's the case in real life, and I don't know because I don't really watch, they're not any good in the game. Daniel James, as an example, has got 3-star potential ability. I'm not going to play him. He's not going to be a Manchester United player ever in this save. And it might be that in your save he's really good. But remember, for some players, potential ability is a variable. It's not always set in stone before the game starts. It can be somewhere they can set it up so that they get potential somewhere in a certain range, and that's set when the game is created, the save is created. So it could be that I just roll of the dice got a particularly poor potential version of Daniel James, or it could be that my coaches are wrong. Regardless, I think I'm better off with Jadon Sancho. I think in real life you'd probably swap him if you were given the choice, wouldn't you? You would. Even if you say you wouldn't, we know you would. Of course you would. Right. We're not losing yet, which is nice for a rotated team. What's less nice is I'm not seeing anything out of Haaland yet. This is what happens when you force me to sign a player I wasn't planning on signing. You can tell he was an extra one who didn't really fit into the plan that I had, but we had a little bit of money spare and everyone was telling me you wanted him. And now I've got him and I don't really know what to do with him because he was never part of the plan. But like I keep saying, if he is as good as everyone says he is, he will make it impossible not to pick him. He is getting opportunities in games like this one, and this is where he needs to go and play really well and score a goal or two and show me just how good he is. But ultimately, at the moment, it's like the Mason Greenwood situation all over again last year. I gave him lots of opportunities, and although he scored a lot of goals in the cup competitions, he played like 10 Premier League games for us and didn't score. And we're kind of in that situation with Haaland, where I'm not playing this as a youth development experiment. I need players who are going to help us win the Premier League and win the Champions League this season. I don't want to develop Greenwood and Haaland into world beaters 2 or 3 years down the line. It would be nice if that happened too, but that's not going to be my priority. So they need to figure out a way to either do it by themselves and force their way in, or go out on loan and do it. And Greenwood, to be fair to him, is one of the top scorers in the Championship this season for Huddersfield. So we'll review that in January and maybe recall him and send him out to the Premier League team for the second half of the season, and see if he can finally score a Premier League goal, something he still is yet to do. Right, we're bringing on Harry Kane and we're bringing on Paul Pogba. I told you we had the big guns to come on if needed. That's 2 of them on with 20 minutes to go. I might ask just for a smidgen of passion as well. Let's have 10 minutes of passion, as Arsenal are weakening their team by taking off some of their stars and bringing on youngsters. We're doing the opposite. Goretzka's now picked up a knock. So Kessie, learn to say his name, for goodness sake, Kev. Doing that is more annoying than just saying Kessie. But hopefully we can find a way through. I think this just goes straight to penalties if it's a draw. I don't know at what point you have to start doing extra time in the Carabao Cup. It might even be the quarterfinal. The most important thing is I'm like 95% sure there's not going to be a replay. There you go. It's straight to penalties. That's the important thing. And we've got some half-decent penalty takers in our team. The only problem is we've got Henderson in goal, who's no De Gea. But Harry Kane steps up, and of course Harry Kane scores his penalty, because that's what Harry Kane does. Lacazette now stepping up for Arsenal. Henderson needs to make himself a hero here. He has made his England debut while on loan at Sheffield United last year, and he's made the save from the penalty. But we do have another goalkeeper coming in January. Henderson needs to show me why he's the man who should still be playing in these cup games and sitting on the bench in the Premier League. Pogba makes it 2-0 on penalties, and now it's back to Henderson again to once again show that he's going to be the hero of the game. Smith Rowe steps up for Arsenal and scores, and it's 2-1, 3 penalties remaining each, and it's that man again. Old Frank Kessie steps up to take the penalty for Man United and scores. That was a cracking penalty, even though I can't say his name. Just consider me the Harry Redknapp of Man United. I don't need to learn to say his name. He needs to learn to respond to whatever I call him. That's how management works, isn't it? Andreas now. Again, I mentioned we've got some good penalty takers. He hits a lovely set piece. Let's not mess it up now. And he scores, and it's 4-2. Arsenal have 2 penalties remaining. We have 1. And who is stepping up for Arsenal. Walk a bit faster. It's hard commentating on a penalty shootout as it is. Please walk faster. What is there to say about Bartra is jogging towards the penalty spot? He's not even put the ball down himself. Who put the ball there? What's this? He's now changing sides. Henderson, save it, please. He does. And that's that. And we are through to the semi-final of the Carabao Cup accidentally. Because it's not a competition I'm at all bothered about winning. But even with rotated teams, and I think we've used penalty shootouts in the last 2 rounds against Liverpool and Arsenal now, we don't seem to be able to get ourselves knocked out of this tournament. Goretzka's going to be out for 3 weeks, and I just spoiled a signing for you, I think. But it's one you asked for anyway. You'll have to go back and look for it. Go back and really look. It was on the screen there. So, tomorrow's episode, we will be back for the end of the transfer window, and maybe Shakhtar. We might do that semi-final, actually, because I think the transfers are going to be done super early. There's 3 probably that are going to be ready to arrive on the 1st of January. So what I might do is show you the second leg of that semi-final along with Tottenham, and then we can come back and do the second leg of Shakhtar with Man City or something. Maybe. We'll figure it out. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.